Edmonton, local breaking news with Nariman Isa.
Good evening. It was an emotional day in court for family and friends of a Fort Saskatchewan woman who was hit and killed by a U-Haul whose driver was trying to get away from police. Now, today, the man behind the wheel was found guilty. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
For 2 years to get to this, and it just still feels like it just happened.
It's been nearly 2 years since Sherry Lunn's sister was killed. Cassandra Gartner drove over a spike belt intended for a U-Haul that was on the run from police. She was inspecting tire damage when the U-Haul hit her, seconds before it hit another vehicle head-on.
She was all about community. She always wanted to give back. Every part of my life that I enjoy, I now have to figure out how to do it without her.
Over the course of a 3-week-long trial, a Crown prosecutor presented evidence intending to prove Peter Ashby was the person behind the wheel of the U-Haul. Today, the justice ruled the man seen in this video and the person driving the U-Haul is Ashby.
Unfortunately, there are no good outcomes in a case like this because regardless of the outcome, Cassandra Gartner is still gone. But we hope that this outcome assists her family, friends, and her community in taking one step further in that healing journey.
Ashby was found guilty of 7 of 10 charges, including dangerous driving causing death, dangerous driving causing bodily harm, and flight from police.
Okay, just reversed and around one of your members, guys.
He was also found guilty of assaulting a police officer after ramming a cruiser and guilty of stealing a car with a child inside. The child was dropped off later unhurt.
Now that we know the facts, we will look to see what a fit and proper sentence is and vigorously argue that before the court.
I think that he should be held accountable to the maximum allotment, but realistically, I know it's not going to happen because the Canadian judicial system isn't fair.
They'll be back in court later this month to set a date in the future for sentencing. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Wetaskiwin.
A mother of 5 is dead after a bus carrying a youth church group rolled this weekend near Grande Prairie. The youth group was returning home Saturday night after taking part in Bible studies near Edmonton. RCMP say the bus hit a median, then rolled once before landing on its wheels. The pastor of the church says the victim was one of 36 parishioners on the bus. The victim and many others were thrown through the windows as the bus rolled.
So the right side of the bus, the windows, they're designed to do that apparently in a rollover, so the glasses doesn't hurt people or whatever, I guess. And anyone who didn't have their seatbelt on the right side of the bus was ejected.
Now, the pastor is identifying the parishioner who died as 50-year-old Lillian Banda. The pastor says 2 other victims remain in hospital. A 53-year-old man is dead after a crash on the Henday. The man had pulled over for a tire change. It happened yesterday afternoon in the northbound lanes near Y Road. RCMP say 2 SUVs were stopped on the shoulder. Mounties say both people were out of their vehicles when they were hit by a Jeep Grand Cherokee. The 53-year-old was killed. A 21-year-old was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Both are from Calgary. The 21-year-old Jeep driver had minor injuries. A woman's body has been found after a fire in a home east of downtown. Police say fire crews responded to a house fire near 93rd Street and 105th Avenue at about 5:30 this morning. Firefighters found the body inside the home. Edmonton police have since taken over the investigation. An autopsy is planned for tomorrow. City councillors are weighing the housing needs of a growing city against the impact on people who already live here. Now, the infill debate is back on at City Hall with a number of changes on the table. Housing advocates worry those changes will lead to fewer homes. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Infill multiplexes like this became easier to build 2 years ago, an opportunity for some to live the way they want.
Without this type of development, we would have been pushed farther out. But now, because we live closer to work, school, and transit, we drive significantly less and we can walk and bike more.
City councillors are once again hearing from the public on infill policy. a conversation the mayor promised during the election.
These are all really challenging, complicated questions, and they all have trade-offs and they all have impact.
In July, City Council voted to shrink the overall building size, restrict side entrances, and improve how infill looks from the street. The impact of those changes hasn't had time to materialize, but city staff are suggesting more policy changes. They recommend restricting mid-rise projects to arterial roads on lots that are either close to transit or on a corner, and limiting projects inside neighborhoods to 3 stories with a maximum of 6 units unless they're on a corner.
The changes that are proposed today would bring us fewer homes when we need more homes in the places that people want to live, and that is the complete wrong direction.
Dozens of people registered to give councillors their 2 cents.
A blunt unit cap, it doesn't change the size of the building, it changes the price of the units. So you end up with fewer, more expensive homes rather than a variety of options for different income levels.
Nobody wants to see these monstrosity infills brought into our lovely old neighborhood.
Councillor Michael Jan says he'd like to find the best path to the most homes.
Is it about the heartbeats in the home, or is it about the size of the box, the shading of the box, the massing of the box? What I think we've heard today from the speakers is it's more important to focus on the box than who's in the box.
Committee couldn't complete the discussion Monday. Any infill policy changes will go to a public hearing before being adopted. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province is spending $3 million to help build a new soccer dome and expand the Edmonton Ski Club. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has the details.
The Edmonton Minor Soccer Association is one step closer to getting another soccer dome like this one.
Our facilities are bursting at the seams.
The province announced $1.5 million for a new multi-sport turf facility.
Alberta's government recognizes that having modern, accessible and up-to-date infrastructure is essential supporting this opportunity.
The facility will be built at the existing EMSA outdoor soccer fields near Seacourt in West Edmonton. There are only 2 other indoor facilities with non-boarded fields in the city, not nearly enough for the up to 16,000 players wanting to hit the turf.
It's always a scramble to try and get more fields. I think we do lose a lot of players because we don't have the facilities.
The Edmonton Ski Club will also be getting $1.5 million to build a new modern lodge.
It really, really is going to be a significant change to the hosting of our guests and then the servicing and doing all those other things we need to do for them as well.
The ski club says the new lodge will offer more options for River Valley users.
Once the snow isn't on site, what else can we do in that River Valley to host and entertain and give Edmontonians recreation options that do not include a pair of skis or a snowboard?
The ski club plans to open the new lodge October 31st. While the Minor Soccer Association is grateful for the $1.5 million, it's not enough to get shovels in the ground.
A build like this is going to be 10 million plus to do something like this. So it's a big undertaking.
EMSA says without full funding, it's unclear when the facility will be built. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Nearly 1/3 of Albertans polled said that they would either vote to leave or are leaning towards Alberta separating from the country. However, the majority of Albertans say they want to stay. Angus Reid polled 979 Albertans through an online survey earlier this month. 57% said they would vote to stay, with an additional 8% saying they would lean towards staying. Now, 8% said they would definitely leave, with 21% leaning towards leaving. Now, the survey company says those contemplating leaving could swing things either way, as their response may not be as forthcoming.
And what we don't know about these folks is whether they're leaning but they haven't locked in because they're too shy to say what they're really thinking, or because they're still really trying to make up their minds, or because they see legitimate grievance in the things that are upsetting Albertans, but they aren't sure that they want to take an action as drastic as leaving the country.
The poll also asked about leadership approval. More than half, 54%, disapprove or strongly disapprove on how Premier Danielle Smith is handling separatism in Alberta. Now, about 44% of Canadians approve of Prime Minister Mark Carney's approach. Now, the nearly 1,000 Albertans surveyed are members of the Angus Reid Forum, and for comparison purposes only, a probability sample of this size would carry a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. Well, in 1 month, Albertans will turn the clocks forward for daylight saving time. There are some who believe changing time twice a year should be stopped. Now, the Premier says her party is considering letting people vote on the issue again. CTV's Alicia Fieldberg reports.
Alberta will spring forward in March, and like clockwork, it has some people debating whether daylight saving should continue.
I just think it's an outdated institution. I don't really know why we're still doing it.
Won't affect my schedule too hard. I'd prefer to stay the way it is.
The Premier says her party is considering putting it to Albertans as a referendum question.
I think maybe what we need to do is just say, do you want to end the time change?
Alberta has been using the practice for decades, shifting patterns to save energy and make better use of daylight. But there's often been debate about changing the clocks twice a year.
So I see pitch blacks, I don't want to go out. But then daylight saving time's wait, it's actually sunny now. That's I feel for a slight change to pay, just change your clocks, I feel it's worth it.
I don't really like it because it changes up my whole circadian rhythm.
And Albertans have voted on it several times before. Most recently in 2021, Albertans cast a ballot for a time change referendum. At the same time, they voted for the municipal election. 50.2% chose to keep the time change. But the Premier says the wording of that question could have been more clear, and Alberta might have another vote on the matter.
Then we can sort of do some consultation about whether we want standard time year-round or daylight time year-round. Right now, 8 months of the year, we're on daylight time. And so it kind of makes sense to me that we would stay on daylight time.
The 2021 referendum cost over $1 million and included 2 questions. Neither resulted in changes for the province. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, also on her weekend radio show, Premier Danielle Smith teased an announcement to address classroom complexities later this week. Smith says a big amount is coming. Now, classroom complexities is one of the issues that emerged from the teacher strike. The province asked for input from teachers and school boards to learn more. That feedback revealed that out of 108,000 classrooms, 5% were considered unmanageable because of class size and complexity. On her radio call-in show on Saturday, Smith said she and Education Minister Dimitris Nicolaides will reveal a plan this week and the impact will be immediate.
We have to get the dollars out this year to make a big difference, particularly in the younger grades. And then we'll continue working with the school boards for next year and the following year. We think that this might be a 2-year challenge that we're facing because we had such a large influx of students and a large influx of students who are English language learners. So it's going to require us to be involved in the deployment decisions for the next couple of years.
Smith also says blanket funding will not work, and her plan is a more targeted approach. The budget comes down February 26. Another recall petition against a UCP MLA has failed to get the signatures it needs to go ahead. Elections Alberta has now verified the petition against Airdrie East MLA Angela Pitt. It says the petition got 2,358 signatures out of the nearly 15,000 that were required. The person behind the campaign said last week he was giving up on it. Now, there are still 24 outstanding recall petitions against Alberta MLAs. A benefit hockey game was hosted for the 3 junior hockey players who were killed last week. The players' families, teammates, and friends gathered in their grief, but say the outpouring of support is helping them carry their heartbreak. CTV's Tyson Fedora reports.
3 wooden crosses, the names of junior hockey players painted on them, stand together along Highway 2 near Stavely. Family, billets and friends were seen remembering J.J. Wright and Cameron Casorso of Kamloops and Caden Fine of Alabama, all killed in a crash last week.
Feels like a warm hug to be here during an awful, awful time.
JJ's father, Chris Wright, says in the wake of his son's death, he understands why Stavely became home for JJ to live out his hockey dream.
Part of me is honestly afraid to go home. We can feel him here.
On Sunday, a benefit game in front of a packed Stavely Arena featured the Southern Alberta Mustangs and Stavely Spurs alumni team. Cameron Casorso's jersey hanging from the crossbar, his goal stick, mask and gloves positioned like they always were, ready for the next shot. Fine and Wright's stick and gloves also laid out on the ice, all part of a moment of silence ahead of puck drop.
The boys are hurting, but they're incredibly strong.
We are taking things one day at a time to make sure they have the space and the support that they need.
The three were killed in a crash on their way to practice after colliding with a truck hauling gravel, but that driver is not at fault, according to RCMP.
There's a local truck driver that is shattered as well. They're going to drive by that memorial every single day.
As a billet family, the Dozmans hosted all three players.
These boys were special to all of us, and they will forever be remembered and loved by everyone.
Teammate Tyson Tozer also lived with them.
I shared a room with Caden, and there wasn't a day that went by where I didn't have a smile on my face because of that kid.
Caden Fine grew up in Alabama. He began playing hockey at age 9. He had several offers to play in his home country, but chose Stavely, nearly 3,700 kilometers away.
I'm going to miss seeing my son on the ice. Nicest kid off the ice, but when he strapped out, I mean, he was a beast, man. He wasn't going to take anything from anybody, and you messed to the point of his buddies, and he was going to let you know it.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, coming up on CTV News, the work that grows into growing tulips on an Alberta farm.
It was not an easy start, but over the years we've learned how to do things, why the climate is different, why things are going different for tulips here in Alberta.
Good evening, folks. Another warm one today. We got to 7 and 8 for daytime highs over the course of the weekend. And today we put up another 7 degrees. Should see some sunshine tomorrow and temperatures about 5 or 6 for a daytime high. We'll let you know how long this warm spell is going to last in just a few minutes.
An Alberta country music star was removed from a speaking list at a teachers' convention in Edmonton, and the Teachers Association refuses to say why. The Alberta Teachers Association says Paul Brandt was originally scheduled to speak, but not included in the final schedule. Brandt, in a statement, says he speaks to all audiences about human trafficking through his course, Not in My City. The Premier says she's disappointed and that standing up for the victims of sex trafficking is a non-partisan cause. Brandt faced online criticism recently after he would not share his stance on Alberta independence. RCMP are asking drivers to slow down after officers clocked a vehicle going 178 kilometers an hour on the QE2. Now, Mounties pulled the vehicle over yesterday north of Airdrie. RCMP say 2 children were in the back. They were not wearing seatbelts. The driver is scheduled to appear in court next month. Police say this type of driving behavior is dangerous and unacceptable. Well, some Edmontonians are celebrating the Lunar New Year. The Edmonton Viettes Association held its Lunar New Year festival and concert over the weekend. People around the world will ring in the Year of the Fire Horse on February 17th. Festivities include dancing, singing, and storytelling, celebrating Vietnamese culture.
There's different qualities that go with it. It's going to be a bold year. It's going to be an energetic year. You're going to be encouraged to, take risks and be ambitious. And so each year there's a different animal and sort of these qualities that you try to embody as you ring in the new year.
The next event will be at Kingsway Mall on Saturday. Lunar New Year begins on February 17th. And dozens of vendors took part in the Together Chinatown Arts Festival ahead of the Lunar New Year. Together is a loose translation of a Chinese phrase that means don't leave until we meet. Vendors were selling stationery goods, books, prints, hand-sewn items, and more. Organizers say the festival is a way for people to support Chinatown.
I just really wanted to bring it back to this core because there's so much history and so much importance here, and I think a lot of our hearts are still here as well. So if people come here, I'm pretty sure they'll see the warmth of this place and the community care.
And there are going to be celebrations throughout the city when Lunar New Year begins next week. Though it feels balmy out, Edmontonians know it's just a matter of time before temperatures dip to the usual winter levels again. Now, in the meantime, one Central Alberta husband and wife team hope their unique batch of flowers will act as a bridge to spring. CTV's Gates Warren reports.
On any given day, you'll find Jack and Trudy Thielen tending to their tulip crop. From sorting, to cutting, to wrapping, the duo does it every week in time for Saturdays, when Jack takes the freshly picked flowers to Edmonton's Old Strathcona Farmers Market, usually running out within hours of opening.
Yeah, 10 o'clock this morning, we're out.
The owners of Tulip Farm Red Deer take a unique approach when growing their flowers, planting them in water rather than soil, and adding fertilizers to them in their custom-built greenhouse. But their business didn't grow overnight.
It was not an easy start, but over the years we've learned how to do things, why the climate is different, why things are growing different for tulips here in Alberta.
After working as florists in Holland, they intended to leave flowers behind altogether after immigrating to Canada in the late 90s. Their passion brought them back into bloom.
We bought bare land with nothing on it, no road, no nothing, and slowly and surely built what we have right now.
Their greenhouse will hold 30,000 bulbs at any given time. While they're able to increase their current operation, they believe in the freshness of their flowers over quantity.
We really stand for what we want, and that's the best quality. So instead of pushing higher volume, we're pushing for a higher quality.
It's that quality that keeps bringing customers back to the farmers market every week.
Good quality, they're beautiful, I like the smell in the house.
They're always quite stunning. This time of year it kind of starts to bring out the spring in the air a little bit, so the end is coming close when the flowers start popping out.
Like, we really do it out of our heart, and that makes it for us.
You need to have a passion, without passion you can't do it.
Yeah.
With Valentine's Day fast approaching, you may want to get to the market early for those fresh cut flowers, and you can bet Jack will be there bright and early this and every Saturday. Gates Gorin, CTV News, Red Deer County.
Well, still ahead, getting into the Olympic spirit through an Edmonton apparel company.
I think it's important that we stay Canadians, that the humility, being humble, I think that's what makes us so unique in the world.
Tuesday on Your Morning, vaccine skepticism south of the border is impacting Canada. We'll talk about common myths, plus a new podcast guided by First Nations and Métis experiences.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. -6 this morning, 7 degrees for a high this afternoon. Averages are -4 and -14. Now, I think by early next week, we're going to get back to around average. But for the rest of this week, watch this mild air just kind of hang around. None of this cold Arctic air spilling in until after Valentine's Day, which is kind of what we've been eyeballing since the beginning of the month. Somewhere in that week after mid-month, we'll see some colder Arctic air spill in. This still doesn't look all that bad for early next week, but I think by the middle of next week, you may actually see daytime highs back into the -5 to -10 range, which would put us several degrees below average. So winter's coming back. There's some snow in the forecast for next week as well. Show you that in a moment. Short-term forecast, though. More warm weather. More sunshine for tomorrow as well. East Central, Northeastern Alberta, you'll stay under mostly cloudy skies all day. You'll get some late day clearing across the Northwest. Clouds spilling in through the evening hours tomorrow, but again, they move off to the east and northeast through the day Wednesday. So sunshine tomorrow, sunshine again on Wednesday, and then a mix of sun and cloud to close the week. -6, Edmonton and Jasper tomorrow morning, about -14 for Fort McMurray, -10 range, Red Deer, Grand Prairie, Cold Lake, just slightly below zero on Cold Lake tomorrow. Fort McMurray, big warm up from today. You're up to -2. Should be in the 3 to 6 degree range for Grand Prairie, Whitecourt, Edson. About 3 or 4 degrees above zero. Lloydminster, Coronation, all the way west through the Red Deer and Jasper regions. And here at Edmonton, we'll get to about 5, maybe 6 degrees tomorrow, 6 or 7 for Wednesday and Thursday. Mild morning lows as well, -5s, -6s. Here's your cool down for next week, though. Chance of flurries 2 on Saturday. That's still pretty good. 0 Sunday, and then a chance of snow every single day next week, with daytime highs back below zero starting Monday and back below average by the middle of next week. Until then, enjoy the mild weather. That is your forecast.
A local apparel company has created some budget-friendly gear to support Canadian Olympians. Edmonton-based The 780 has put out a new line that pokes fun at the Canadian habit of over-apologizing while celebrating our talents. The owner says while he loves the official Olympic gear, it is pricey. He wanted to make something more accessible.
I think it's important that we stay Canadians, that the humility, being humble, I think that's what makes us so unique in the world. But we do need to take pride in what we're good at. Because, yeah, if we don't, who's going to do it?
Now, the t-shirts are around $30 and the hoodies range from $65 to $75. Canadian alt-rock icon Alanis Morissette is saddling up to perform at this year's Calgary Stampede.
And isn't it ironic? It's like rain.
The Ottawa-born artist is set to play the Scotiabank Saddle Dome on July 11th. Morissette's 90s-defining album, Jagged Little Pill, earned her 5 Grammys, 6 Junos, and has sold more than 33 million copies worldwide. All right, well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your evening. Good night.